Hey guys, my name is Christian. Hopefully you are all doing well. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought that we'd check out the brand new Channelstrip from United Plugins. And you might ask yourself, do we really need another Channelstrip? Well, this one is packed with a couple of really nice features. I'm going to tell you all about it in this episode. I'm going to show you some examples. So let's jump into Pro Tools and check out the plugin. So I want to start off by saying that I was part of the beta test. I got this plugin for free, but it managed to work itself into my everyday workflow, and it is on sale this November. I think it only cost 29 euros. It is an extremely good price for such a plugin. So here we have it. So you got a couple of different emulations here. You got British, US, and German. And the British is Neve, US is API, and German feels like it should be the V series from the 60s, you know, tube preamps, V72, V76. And they also got a warm technology, which is their way of introducing variations between the plugins. So if you load, say, 10 plugins, you get slight variations, and that can really help the stereo image. So then you got an EQ section that is the same. You got Neve EQ, API, and the German one is a tilt EQ, which I've been liking a lot. I've been using it on my mix bus. Gives it a nice sheen, and you can also boost the low end like a Pultic style. So yeah, very nice. The funky part of the plugin is probably the compressor part. I feel that it is a bit all over the place, but you got a Neve style. It's probably a 2254. You got the US one, which is some sort of tube compressor from the 50s. It's not a Fairchild, but I don't think they told us exactly which one it is. The German one is a U73, and the thing is that it feels a bit all over the place when it comes to the gain reduction, so I haven't really been implementing it into my workflow, but it's nice to have there anyway. So I'm gonna show you a few examples here that I prepared. We are going to listen to the saturation part of the plugin, which I've been using the most. I think that is worth the price alone. So I'm going to show you a song here. It's from my GA47XT-M7 episode. Feel free to check that one out. And I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like with bypass and then go through the different saturation models. So let's start from the top and listen to my example. Let my heart go, Mama, let your son go, Mama, let my heart go, oh, let this heart be still. Of you, never I gave, but she gave me your emptiness, and I'll take to my grave. Never I asked of you, but never I gave, but she gave me your emptiness, and I'll take to my grave. So let this heart be still. Let my heart go, Mama, let your son go, Mama, let my heart go. Oh, let this heart be still. Alright, so yeah, it is very subtle, but I really like what it does. You know, it creates space. It feels like each of the instruments get its own space, but it still makes things glued together a bit better. So although it is subtle, I think a plugin like this can really add that extra few percent in the end of a mix. You can either do it like I do it, put it on say buses, but you can also start fresh, you know, putting it on pretty much all of your channels to create more of a console approach to your mixing. So to my ears, it feels like the British one shaves off some top end and boosts some low mids. Feels very Neve. I think they did a great job with that. The US feels very API, you know, it pushes the mids a bit and gives it a nice low end punch. It feels a bit more laid back or scooped in the low mids compared to the Neve. The German gives it a nice top end sparkle. It is a bit more laid back in the low mids. It really feels like what a V76 tube preamp does to your signal. Feel free to check out my Neve versus V76 episode. I think that is a great comparison what a Neve sounds compared to a V76, and I do like it on acoustic material. Feels like it gives it an intimate feel to the mix. So very nice, very subtle like I said, but it definitely adds something nice. I'm gonna show you a quick comparison here once again, and here I put it on all the channels of that mix. It's not that many channels, it's probably like 6 or 8 channels. And I used the British mode here to drive the channels, and the green one is bypassed and the red one is with the Channelstrip engaged. So let's start from the top here and listen once again. Like rain, so let this heart be still. So yeah, very subtle, but I think it does its thing. So I got one last example here. It is a metal mix, and I feel like metal is probably the hardest genre of them all to mix. It's such a thin line between, you know, you want separation, you still want glue, you want everything to be heard, so it feels like almost the impossible job. You got so many things working in the mid-range. You got electric guitars, heavy guitars, eat up pretty much all that space, and then you got cymbals, hi-hats, vocals, and synths. So it's just a big mess. So here it's the same thing that we are going to go back and forth. The green track is the unprocessed and the red one is the processed. And I think you should try to listen to the guitars, what happens with the stereo image. You will hear that the top end will be a bit more laid back, but that is always something that you can bring back in the mastering stage. But really listen to the guitars, what happens in the low mids and how the saturation helps things come together in a nice way. So let's start from the top here and listen to the mix. So what I hear, especially on the outer part of the song with the palm muted guitars, is that instead of the drums laying on top of the whole mix, they are baked in and the guitars are pushed a bit more forward. All right, so yeah, this was just meant to be like an inspiration, a boost. I think you should download it, try it for yourself, see if it fits your workflow. I think although I didn't show you guys the EQs or the compressors. I think the EQs are super nice. The compressors, like I said, it's a bit funky, but might be useful for you. But the saturation part of the plugin is really worth the price alone, especially now when it's on sale this November. So yeah, that is really it for today's episode. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you guys around.